Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I got a little bit of good news and a little bit of bad news, but some good signs that yes, cruising is not going to be shut down despite all the things you've been hearing in the news lately. First off, let me just wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Had all my relatives over last night and 2 nights before that. We did it in 2 little parties. Had a great time with my nieces and nephews. Had a great dinner. Had a great time with my daughter and my son and my grandkids, and everybody had a blast. And today is cleanup day. Yay, cleanup day. And the house looks like a small tornado went whipping through the house. But that's kind of what it's all about, right? So just wanted to say that. Just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I hope you're having just a great weekend. So let's talk about some of the things that have been happening in the news. You're still seeing more and more ships being turned away at port. Holland America was turned around now from, I believe, in Mexico. It was turned around and is going to skip the port and head back to San Diego on Sunday. So that's like the 5th ship now in less than 7 days that have been turned away from cruise ports because of the amount of COVID infections on board, according to the health officials of those countries. Yes, that's the bad news. That's not great news, but we do have some good news going on out there in light of a lot of things that are going on. Royal Caribbean has now changed their final payment dates for a little while at least. Their final payment dates no longer have to be 90 days out, then it went to 60 days out. Now it's 30 days out. I just received notice that my March cruise that I have coming up on Royal Caribbean doesn't need to be paid till near the end of February. So there's one bill coming due at the beginning of the year that I don't have to worry about yet for at least another month. So that's a good thing. So Royal Caribbean extending the final payment dates is a good thing, because they don't want people paying everything and then canceling it and having to give them back their money and going through all that paperwork. They'd rather people given the time to make up their minds, see what things are going on in the world, and then, really close. If people make their final payment within 30 days, chances are they're going on the ship. And that makes them much easier to provision for and get prepared for passengers on board. So it's a very smart decision by Royal Caribbean to do that. One other thing that people have been noticing is that Royal Caribbean over the next 2 weeks have stopped selling cruises. They have stopped selling anything that is sailing in the next couple of weeks. They say this was planned. I don't believe it was planned. Let's put it that way. But it might be, they had already raised up their capacity limits on some of their ships. Some of their ships are sailing with, closer to 70% capacity capability, and I think they're going to cut that back for a little while right now, until especially the Christmas holidays are gone and people jumping on last minute cruises and things like that, with what's going on with ports being canceled. And when you have to do that, you have to give people money back, and for the shore excursions you have to give people money back for credits for ports missed, etc. It just, they've stopped selling for 2 weeks, and I imagine they may keep the limits on cruises after that, maybe perhaps a little lower than 70%. So they don't get those big numbers of 55 people testing positive. It's much less scary when you hear a number like 10 or 11 or 12. So the less people on a ship, the less people that could possibly get affected. And that's another good thing. So that's good news for cruising in general. Some good signs there. Not great news if you wanted to jump on a Royal Caribbean ship in the next couple of weeks, I guess. But here's a good, very, very good sign. A very good sign why the cruising industry won't shut down. Oh, wait. I almost forgot, guys. It's Christmas. Give me a Christmas present. Please give me a Christmas present and just hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Really helps the channel out, and I would celebrate Christmas with the most joyful and triumphant sounds available. Doesn't cost anything, just let you know we have videos out and you'll be kept up to date with all things cruising and all these new protocols and changes and things that are going on right now in cruising. And again, I'd really appreciate it. There, the sales pitch is out of the way. What is a really good sign that the cruising industry won't be shut down? Well, first off, the United States is now reopening all travel from South Africa. That's right. There were 9 countries that were banned people right now from coming from South Africa into the United States because of the Omicron variant. And a source in the federal government has come out and said, you know what, we kind of know what Omicron is now. We kind of see what the effects are right now. And stopping a few small countries in South Africa doesn't seem to be going to affect us whatsoever. Or because it's already here, it's already prevalent in the United States. So they're opening it up. And if they're going to open up South Africa, the epicenter, if you will, of the new Omicron variant, then it's a good sign that they're not going to shut down a cruising industry that's, you know, making money here in North America for the economy. So yeah, that's pretty good news. The more and more people are looking at the Omicron variant, it absolutely looks like it spreads like wildfire. But it also absolutely looks like it has very mild effects, very little fatalities and hospitalizations compared to all the other variants we've had in the past. In fact, on the December 19th, it was reported that London in the UK, 10% of the population of London on that day had COVID. And they were thinking about adding new restrictions. And I'm going to myself, guys, if 10% of your population has COVID on one day, maybe it's time to not have the restrictions because it doesn't seem what you're doing is doing anything. And it maybe this Omicron variant could be a blessing in disguise because in Africa, out of 60 million people, they only ended up having a total of 9,000 people in hospital total. And out of those 9,000 people in hospital, only 264 ended up on ventilators in South Africa. 60 million people, 264 people on ventilators. That's directly from the Medical Association in South Africa, just reported. And in fact, the cases there have seemed to stabilize and are now back on the downfall. They expect, because the population has much more infection than they actually know about because the symptoms are so mild and the symptoms don't really show up. A lot of people don't even know they have it. And so that could be a really good thing here in North America as well. If that turns out to be the case and the fact, then maybe all of us catching this with hardly any symptoms whatsoever is our way finally to hit that herd immunity and we're out. And don't forget, South Africa's vaccination rate is 3%. 3% are fully vaccinated in South Africa, and they only had those effects. Far different than we saw in, say, India with the Delta variant. Remember when people were looking for ventilators and they had no room in hospital? People were out on the streets and on stretchers and waiting for far different scenario right now with Omicron than we're seeing from the other variants, which is a great possibility and possibly a very good sign for 2022 coming up, that maybe, just maybe, we might be finally in the end game and on our way out of this horrible situation we've been in for 2 years. That would be a Christmas miracle. There we are. Well, I hope you appreciate this little update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation and Merry Christmas.